The other nations love to change history and then act as if that's something that you're doing. I was listening to Sister Lisa Cabrera talking about the Fox News guy talking about slavery and how we have this huge debt to slave owners and everything else, and you know how everyone now wants to change history. But see, you guys are the ones that have been constantly hiding our history, hiding information. You know, I was listening to Cash App Got a Boy over here on TikTok, D'Angelo, and he had a great video talking about how they pretty much put parking lot asphalts and all these parking lots and airports over um, our burial grounds. You know, I mean, just the ultimate disrespect. You know, trying to just hide our, you know, who we are, hide how long we've been here. He was saying that a lot of the tombs were saying that they were from 900 A.D., proving that they had added like 1,000 years to our history. So see, you guys are the ones who have been constantly trying to hide who we are, hide where we came from, you know, hide all this information. You know, you talk about Malcolm X. I was another sister who put up another video I saw talking about how Malcolm X talked about us being the Aborigines, how Martin Luther King talked about us being enslaved or put at the bottom in our own homeland. Like, this is nothing new. You guys have been constantly pushing that Africa thing, because that's the history you want to give us. But now the Most High said the Holy Spirit was going to come back and put all things into remembrance. Now look, we were all over the place. We are also the ancient Celts. And the ancient Celts were the ones who were pretty much giving information and understanding to everyone in Europe as well. And I'm going to show you real quick about how they changed that history too, because when you see, you know, Celts today, they're all, you know, super white, redhead, whatever else. They're trying to say that those are the ancient Celts. Again, you're trying to always interject yourselves into our history, but these books tell on you. Check this out. So real quick, we're going to take a look at this book, Celtic Myth and Legend, Poetry and Romance. At the top it says, the inhabitants of our islands previous to the Roman invasion are generally described as Celts, but they must have been largely a mixed race, and the people with whom they mingled must have modified to some, and perhaps to a large extent, their physique, their customs, and their language. Of course, they're trying to give you their breakdown, like always, right? Speculation has somewhat run wild over this question of the composition of the early Britons. But of course, they weren't called that. But, you know, they're trying to interdict themselves again. But out of the clash of rival theories, there emerges one, and only one, which may be considered as scientifically established. We have certain proof of two distinct human stocks in the British Islands at the time of the Roman conquest. And so great an authority as Professor Huxley has given his opinion that there is no evidence of any others. The earliest of these two races would seem to have inhabited our islands, you know, again, our islands, right, from the most ancient times, and may, for our purpose, be described as aboriginal. It was the people that built the long burrows, and which is variously called by ethnologists the Iberian, Mediterranean, Berber, Basque, Silurian, or Etruscan race. I mean, talking about so-called black people. Okay, in physique, it was short, swarthy, dark-haired, dark-eyed, and long-skulled. Of course, they're talking about our people, swarthy. Okay, we know what swarthy means, all right? Its language belonged to the class called Hamitic. So Hamitic, or so-called African or whatever else languages. The surviving types of which are found among the Galas, Abyssinians, Berbers, and other North African tribes. And it seems to have come originally from some part of Eastern, Northern, or Central Africa. Again, so-called black people were the original Celts. These were the people who were originally there. When you're talking about the monuments and things that were already there, built by so-called black people. But who's changing history? Because all of a sudden you don't see any black people talked about. You know, we're talking about Celts. All you see are so-called super white people, red hair. Those are the original people. But this guy's telling you the original people, you know, were so-called black-looking people. And what with Paul, you know, was when they saw, you know, the Apostle Paul, they couldn't tell him apart from the Egyptians, right? when Joseph was with the Egyptians, they couldn't tell the difference. His own brothers couldn't tell the difference. So same kind of thing. So-called black people were what you call today, okay? What you call today, so-called black people were the Celts. So let's do that last part again. The surviving types of which are found among the Galas, Abyssinians, Berbers, and other North African tribes, and it seems to have come originally from some part either in eastern, northern, or central Africa. Now they try to make it sound like the northern part was so-called people that are there like Arabs, but it's like they're taking all these people in these different areas all look the same. Northern African, right, tribes, eastern, northern, and central Africa, black people, Celts. That's what you're talking about now. So like I said, we weren't just here in the Americas, we were also over there in Ireland, and we were already going back and forth. This is why, like, you got to look at the timeline. See, it's a new world to you Europeans, right? So in January was when you guys took down the Moors. You find it a kind of a coincidence, by the end of the year, you all of a sudden found the new world within 1 year. You couldn't come here before, but as soon as you took down the Moors and you got access to, their astrolabes, you probably got access to them actually bringing you over here because they came with you over here. They brought you here. It wasn't you found it. They brought you over here. We'd already been going back and forth because our people were there, over there in Europe. And, they were the Celts. They were teaching the whole world over there. And they were coming over here as well. So there's nothing new under the sun. So you guys have been the ones who have been hiding everything. Okay? Spreading thence, it was probably the first people to inhabit the valley of the Nile. And it seemed, and it sent offshoots into Syria and Asia Minor. All right? The early Hellenists found it in Greece under the name of Peloskio. And the earliest Latins in Italy as the Etruscans, and the Hebrews in Palestine as the Hittites. So it's letting you know that these so-called black people were everywhere. They were the original Hellenists. They were the people that were in Greece. They were the people that were in Spain and the Latin areas. It was so-called black people. So like I showed, but you guys hide all this. You guys want to hide the fact that the Moors, controlled Spain for hundreds of years. So you get rid of all that history. So like I said, this is just showing you that you guys have been doing nothing but lying, hiding history, hiding who were the original people, and then trying to make it seem as if now that Most High has given the Holy Spirit back to us again, and she's given us knowledge and understanding once again, now you want to make it sound as if we are changing history when you are the ones who have been totally guilty of hiding history. Shalom.